Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGenEd. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the charts behind me, which are of Bitcoin miners. And so I wanted to go over these tickers here because, one of them reported earnings last week and two are reporting earnings this Thursday, May 9th. And so I did want to go over those. And I am going to try to host both earnings calls. And so I will begin with CleanSpark, which they are reporting their earnings, having their call at 4:30 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. And so I'll start with the first half an hour of their earnings call, but then I will switch over to Marathon Digital because they report their earnings at 5 p.m. Eastern. So hopefully, I can get both of them in there. We'll stick around for the questions with Mara, but it should be a lot of fun, very, very interesting stuff. And I'll probably start that stream right when the market closes. So make sure you tune in if you are interested in these tickers. But I will also, in this video, be going over RIOT platforms. They did report earnings last week, but I do think there are some things in the chart with this one that do stand out that could be suggesting what might be happening with the other two. But first, I'm going to start with CleanSpark, ticker symbol CLSK, because their earnings call does begin just before Marathon Digital's. So I'm going to start here. And so CleanSpark closed on Monday, May 6th at a price of $17.43, being up almost 8% on the day. So a pretty good day. And also I should note that, Bitcoin has also been going up over the past few days, and it does look like it might be breaking out of this downtrend. So, I'm pretty curious to see if we're going to be getting back up to, 69K or potentially retesting 74,000. And so if Bitcoin is rallying, I do think the miners may be rallying, even though, the halving just happened, which means miners are getting half the reward per block mined. So, they did take kind of a hit with that, but I do think that there is a lot of upside as Bitcoin has a lot of upside. So pretty interesting to be going over these. But so looking at the chart here, these are some lines that I've gone over in previous videos. And I guess really, the line that stands out to me is this orange one here at 1356, because that did serve as, this double top here for what looks like was a pretty nice and big cup and handle. Or, if we slide over here, we could view that as a very nice big inverse head and shoulders pattern. And, we did really just see a bunch of consolidation here, because with this bigger picture pattern, taking a measurement from the bottom to the top here, the neckline, taking this up here, I think that price could have gone a little bit higher on that rally up to 2472. So I do think that we could be seeing price go higher following earnings. But of course, there is also the possibility that it does return to this orange line at 1356, which it did test just before going up here. So that might be happening again. It may be forming a double bottom before going higher. And so one thing that I wanted to do, that I will be doing with all of the tickers here, is just doing a Fibonacci retracement from the low before this run up to the top here. And let's see, just getting that lined up just right. And so I did want to point out that with CleanSpark, it did bounce off the 786 from 1535 and is currently testing the 50% level at 1754. So what I could see happening is that it pulls back to around $16.64, which is the 618, finding support there before continuing higher, breaking above, the 382 here, which is above the high from today, which is at a price of $18.32. The 382 is just about 13 cents higher than that. So, I could see price going up there if we don't see a pullback to 1356. So, I do think that this is a pretty interesting chart, that it has bounced here. But, I am very curious to be seeing what happens with the miners as far as what's going on with Bitcoin and the halving and all of that. So I am very curious to see what their earnings are like and how the stock does respond. So I will be going over that just after the market closes, right before their call begins. And then just after their call begins, half an hour into it, we'll be switching over to the Marathon Digital, ticker symbol MARA, their earnings call shortly, after the CleanSpark one begins, and then to also be going over, what looks like, kind of an uglier but still inverse head and shoulders pattern that we've seen. And then, this pullback bounce from this orange line again, at $13.79, and getting above this red line here at 19.51, closing on Monday at a price of $20.67. So looking pretty good, having gotten above these highs here. Hopefully the price can reside above 19.51 and holding really above $20 a share. I do think that would be really good. But since it did move up nearly 18% on Monday, it's quite possible we might be seeing a little bit of a cool off. And so if that cool off does bring us back to 1951, I don't think that'd be such a bad thing, because some consolidation after such a big move to the upside could be a bull flag, and maybe price could be going back up to $31.44 here, marked by this blue line. And then just like what I did with CleanSpark, I'm going to do another Fibonacci retracement going from the lows here up to the high. And so that low over here was 14.18, then going up to the high on this day of $20.04. And so one thing you might notice about that is price is already above that level. So it's already reclaimed that level, having bounced off of nearly the 786. So I do think that this maybe is, foreshadowing for what could be happening with CleanSpark, as it did retrace to that level. But, it has not gotten back up to 2139 just yet. And so, I'm thinking that this one could be going higher, potentially up to 31.44, but of course could be doing a full retrace. Who knows, breaking below the 786. But generally, if we do see some consolidation above $20.04, right around $20, we are seeing that kind of strength. That could be a bull flag before earnings, and I do think that we could be seeing it take off. And now switching over to RIOT platforms, ticker symbol RIOT. And this one, actually, to me, makes me a little bit concerned about the miners in general. Partly because their earnings were already reported and it did not rally up super high following earnings, and it does look like it is bumping into resistance here at this white uptrend, having closed on Monday at a price of $10.77, being up only a little bit over 3% on the day, much less of a move than what we saw in the other two. But, it is still up, it is still green, but the high of the day was just over $11 at $11.17. So I do think that $11 is serving as resistance, not only that being a whole dollar level, we also do have this consolidation over here. I do think price is having a tough time getting above there. And this uptrend that I've drawn here, that is really just based on, the low from back here at the end of November of 2022, and then, the pivot point from over here, January of 2024, so earlier this year. And so we have gotten a number of bounces from that level, and it does look like we are testing it now. And following this down move, getting up to that level, it does make me think that this could be a bear flag and that we could be seeing prices going lower. And so that does kind of make me think that that is what we will be seeing with the other two. But, I'm always surprised by Bitcoin miners, Bitcoin as well. So, I wouldn't be surprised if these all did take off and this was a little bit of a fake out before starting to see some big moves. But now, just doing another Fibonacci retracement here from the low up to the top here, we can see that the price did bounce from the 618 rather than the 786, and it does look like it is contending with the 382, not being able to get any closes above that level, but being just a few pennies below it, with that price being at $10.80. The closing price from today on Monday, like I said, just a few cents below it. So what I could see as being healthy is a retest of the 50% level at $10.22, and then ideally bouncing higher to break above this uptrend and start to test the 236 at $11.50. But generally, I'm pretty interested in the Bitcoin miners, very interested to learn more about them on Thursday, not only beginning with CleanSpark's earnings call, but also, Marathon Digital's earnings call, and sticking around for the questions and answers. I do think it's going to be really interesting to not only learn about the companies, but also see how the charts respond in real time. So it should be pretty cool. Make sure you join. But, those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you on Thursday.